You know, it's funny. After watching my wife, going through labor and everything, I said the only men that could actually relate would be people who do that for a fucking living. Like
people who fight, they couldn't even relate.
It's worse than that.
Yeah, it's genitals. It's genitals. It's coming out of your vagina. It's crazy.
No, I got a whole new level of respect for my wife. I was just like,
oh yeah.
She told me the funniest fucking thing when she went into like pre-labor, and I was just going, telling her to breathe, and I was running to get the stuff. I was pretty prepared, and there was some code or something like that. I was like, Nia, where did you leave the blah 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 blah? She goes, when you said that to me, she goes, I was almost ready to black out with the pain, and she goes, I had this thought, if he asked me one more time where that code is, I'm going to push this baby out and fucking throw it at him. Dude, my wife is hilarious.
She's funny on your podcast, too.
No,
she's very funny.
She's funnier than a lot of comedians I know. She's fucking hilarious. And but she has this, what I love about her, she's got this spirit, man. She's just really, like, when I met her, man, like, I never met anybody, like, there's very few people I've met in my life that have, like, an energy where you're just like, wow. Like, I want to be around that. Like, she just had this amazing, like, really, like, she just throws herself into shit. And I was really kind of, I was more like guarded and all of that. So it was sort of the perfect kind of balance. But every time I think I've seen the end of that energy, like, she does something else. So, it was pretty amazing. So
that's a great relationship. Then you're both growing. She's growing and you're growing.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, she's hit me with some fucking classic lines. And one time, I was calling her out on some shit she was doing, and I just took it, like, a little too far. I should have stopped, like, probably 5 minutes earlier, and I was still going. I go, you fucking blah, 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 and you do this, and that. And I was in the car, and right as I stopped, she goes, yeah, well, you're no pony ride either, my friend. And we both just bursted out laughing, and that was just, like, the end of the fight. So she has that ability... where in the past, I would date people, either they were like too nice, so they couldn't handle how fucked up I was, or the worst, they were just as fucked up as I was, and it was totally toxic. So she's just sort of like grounded.
Yeah, and, that's so important when you're dating somebody or married to somebody or whatever. They have to compliment you, and you have to compliment them in some sort of a way. You can't be exactly the same, and who you are is different when you're with different people, you know? If you're with a person like that who can crack a joke in the middle of the heat of everything, you become a different person. They become a different person.
Yeah.
But if she's with somebody who doesn't appreciate that, it's just like you become, like, you're not just an individual. You're an individual who relates to other people, and you become someone different when you relate to those people.
Yeah. It took me forever to realize that.
Yeah, there's people that are bad for you.
The way I processed it was, how come I can't break up with this person? That's how I figured out I was in love.
Well, that's a good one too, though.
Yeah, no, every time I pictured breaking up with her, I kept picturing her walking away and then me going like, no, get back. Then after denying that was love for a good fucking 8 years, I was just like, yeah, I guess I have found the one.
That's an abused word, love. There's way too many people throwing that word around like a beach ball at a concert. It's just too abused.
Dude, all of that shit, and then like all of the stuff that people say that when you first see your kid, all like they fill your head up on what the fuck you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
I was talking about this on, I think on Kimmel. Like when I saw my kid for the first time, I was like afraid. Like I didn't have that, oh my God, and start crying. I was just like, hey, and I sort of just put my finger down, let it like hold, and when they left me alone with the first time, like the magnitude of it was definitely huge, but I didn't feel that whole, like, the second I saw my kid, I knew my life had changed. But I didn't feel that for like 12 hours. It wasn't until the next, but I think because my head was so filled up on what I was I was like having an outer body experience.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, the next morning my wife was playing like Stevie Wonder, you know what I mean? Some chill music and stuff. And I was just sitting with her, and it just sort of, and baby sneezes or something like that. And it just fucking hits you.
Yeah.
But even then, I never had like that blubbering moment.
To me, it was kind of scary too, and kind of psychedelic, because when my daughter was born, my 8-year-old was born, there was a moment when I was thinking, how many babies are being born simultaneously right now all over the world? And if you could look at it on a screen, it would be a swarm of humanity, just heads popping out of pussies, just
Yeah.
Just if you could see every baby coming out right now, and then I thought at the same time I thought about this baby becoming an old lady and dying. And I thought, like, how many old people are dying simultaneously at the same time right now?
Yeah. See, I think it's important to say that, because the hacky thing is you're supposed to say, the second I saw my kid, I bursted out crying and blah, 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 blah. And then it becomes like, if you don't do that, you're not going to be a good dad. You don't care and all of that type of stuff. But I just think that kind of became like the hacky default thing. And then I also, this is all just theories, of course, and I'm not going to research any of this. But I think parents try to outdo each other with their stories about what the fuck they felt, and it's just become like they're really like, they're not sane people. Most parents,
no.
And I've learned to kind of already be like, they'll just sit down next to you, like you're Forrest Gump, and they'll just sit down and just start talking to you. So you just had your kid, all right, well, this is what you got to watch out for, you know. And I remember my kid, and blah 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 blah. Dude, it's like Airplane. You know what I mean? With a fucking person, he talks to him, and you want to kill yourself.
Just wait until you start going to school. And you gotta hang out with these parents all the time, because your kids become friends with their kids, and then you become friends with these people that you would never be fucking friends with.
This is what I do. Is I just look straight ahead and I don't look at them. I don't respond to what they're saying, and then they just sort of talk quieter and they gradually leave.
You're gonna have to go to dinner with them. Your wife's gonna be friends with some lady. You're gonna, let's go on a double date. Okay, fine. You're gonna go.